Welcome to the 16th episode of the DINER podcast. Let's grab a coffee and chat about the recent happenings in the art industry. Today, we want to talk a bit about what we have been up to, our hiatus and what's next, what are our New Year's resolutions, and keep listening until the end to find out about a super cool contest currently being hosted by ClipStudio. Hi Rita, so it's been a while, right?
Yeah, well, my first reaction was like, 16th podcast?
Yeah, our last episode before the break was published back in November, so it feels good to be back. How have you been doing?
It's been a crazy roller coaster ride kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me.
How have your holidays went by?
I think I'm sort of carrying a burnout from last year.
Mm-hmm.
And what it intends that my memory is pretty bad. My memory got so bad. It's crazy. I don't remember what I did like a couple of days ago and stuff. So I'm sort of living in the moment kind of situation. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my holidays just kind of passed very quickly. I went to Germany for New Year's. We had a whole little party.
Oh, that's
so that
fun.
was nice. Yes. And before that, it was like chopping some deadlines heads. New Year's basically started for me after I came back from Germany, and I was like, okay, time to do all the New Year's resolutions kind of stuff. What about you, Veto?
Well, holidays for me also went by pretty fast, as I did quite a lot of traveling between families. But overall, it was a cozy time, and my birthday passed just last week, so we did a super fun pre-party stream on Twitch. So if you want to join my live drawing sessions, be sure to click the link in the description. Yeah, I personally had a really busy November and December, so my whole YouTube career had to be on hold for a bit. But this year, I think I can pre-plan and anticipate the heavy load of work. I kind of messed up with that last year, but I feel like I'm more prepared now, at least for understanding what's about to come. With the new year kind of rolling in, a lot of us are probably having this new flame in our hearts that kind of helps us with like goal setting. So are you one of those people, Rita?
My New Year goal planning starts right after a big event. Mm-hmm. Let's just say I'm kind of planning from event to event these days. Not like it's not a yearly thing. It's more like after a big event ends, it's like, okay, what I'm gonna do for the next big event kind of thing. But I did make like a New Year's resolutions kind of list.
Mm-hmm. I would love to hear them if you want to share.
Oh, yeah. My New Year started kind of with accepting of the fact that I very likely have ADHD. Mm-hmm. And it's a thing that has impacted my life in a lot of ways, positive and negative, and one of them being routines and understanding of time. So one of the biggest goals for me is finding a way to keep track of things without losing things all the time, especially routines, because routines keep falling apart, and that's like my number one frustration in life is how messy everything is, and I just want some stability in my life in a sense. And I tried many sort of organizing tools and programs, and this year I'm just so tired. I was like, I bought myself this grandpa 2024 journal, you know, those
yeah, I've got one for my birthday as well, actually. I like them. I don't know. I like to just sometimes write on them.
I know. I understood that I'm kind of a note-taking queen, you know. I have billions of notes that I need to take a note. It's like, I don't take it on my phone. I take it on a piece of paper, and then I have my whole desk is filled with papers kind of gal.
For me, it's that one notebook that is just filled with the most random notes in the world, like career notes, like recipes, like everything that I just like, as I'm working, I'm like, oh, I have to write that down. And I just write it in one notebook, that poor one notebook that is not in any way sorted. And I know I will never like find that information that well. And sometimes I'm looking for it and I have like 2 or 3 of these notebooks, and I'm like, which one is it? And I'm looking for all of them. I know I noted that down. I know I have a plan somewhere, just looking for it. It's impossible.
When you mentioned one notebook, I was like, wow, you have that one notebook, but actually you're also a mess. You have like a couple, because I have like a couple. Yeah, but the high five on the taking notes by hand kind of. High five. I have quite a few goals. I'm not gonna go through all of them.
Yeah, please do. Like, we have time, but
okay.
I know like some are not meant to be shared, so it's okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go through them. I have a few pages here written down, so I wonder if I wrote the main one down. It's very funny. I don't think I did. Well, the main goal for me, which is not written down in my notes even, is it's such a given. Anyways, my main goal for this year is to have a completely refreshed portfolio with like all new pieces. And when I say portfolio, again, I plan events wise. So I've applied to a couple of events, actually one. Well, in my mind, I applied to a couple of events. For now, I physically applied to one, which is the Docomi. I'll tell you why. Because Docomi this year, I applied for the not safe for work area. They have like the boobies and the gore area. And I had to make a portfolio for that. And in my infinite wisdom, I took my website's main page and I made it into my not safe for work portfolio for Docomi. And as I'm waiting for their response, I'm like, fuck, it's on my main page now and I can't change it. Yeah, so anyways, I'm just so tired of all my artwork at this point. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just, it's old and I feel like I really want to level up in my art. You know, last year I was itching to learn, and I'm very itching to learn like this year as well. But because of conventions, I don't have a lot of time to sort of go super, super deep, because I was ready to start some kind of a crazy challenge. There's so many cool sort of drawing challenges out there.
Yeah.
There's like 100 head challenge where you draw like, 10 heads in 10 days, kind of crazy thing. So there are like a ton of cool drawing challenges just happening. But since I have conventions, I'm like, okay, I'm planning a portfolio. Like I have a lot of things sort of planned out that I want to draw. All of these drawings are sort of planned out in a way that touch on subjects and issues that I want to improve in a sense. So we shall see. And me and my friend are joking that it's kind of delusional. It's kind of a delusional plan in a sense, because like it's a lot of work, because I want to produce 10 to 12 original works in 4 months.
In 4 months?
Yeah.
So what does it make to... It sounds doable though, like...
It does.
If it's 4, then it's 3 a month, so it just sounds doable. But so you're thinking about this with the full-time job, right?
I love the pause. That is like...
What?
You have a full-time job, right, Rita? And
No, I'm saying like you're planning this with it. Or no?
This is where Delululand would like to call it. I know that I'm in Delululand, and I also have a mini comic that I need to finish. Yes, I do have a full-time job, and yes, I will attempt to somehow do it.
I mean, like free a month is like pushing it. But I also think that it's very doable, especially like for you. I don't know. I don't think it's too crazy, you know?
Now that you said 3 a month, I'm like, oh my God. Oh God.
It's like 1 a week.
Also, I'm taking it next level Delululand, because I am like really getting into traditional art these days. So I'm like, can I just take these drawings to traditional?
Oh, well, that will be a bit harder to produce a lot in a month.
Yeah, so I won't do all of them traditionally as much as I want to, but I'll try to do some. With traditional art, it's very interesting because there's no Ctrl-Z. Yeah. So I feel like at some points there'll be more times where I have to just stop and less times where I have to redo, because like in digital you have to redo stuff. So this is like my main goal, is to do the all new portfolio artworks for conventions, and the mini comic that I need to finish. God damn it. But the usual goal is like decent work and life balance. good sleep schedule, get back into shape.
Drink more water.
Yeah, release the redacted comic.
Whoa.
The mini comic I'm planning. Yes, the name is Redacted. Subscribe to my Patreon to know more. Open art store coming to you this next week, hopefully.
Oh wow, so soon already. Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah, there's the one technicality I have to sort of get through, but in general, I need to do it. I gotta do it as soon as possible, basically. Yeah. Save the redacted amount of money.
Oh, okay. That's a good goal to like save a certain amount of money.
Yeah.
I guess, do you have an idea of why you're saving it, or like?
Yeah, because for the first floor of the house renovations. Yeah, so renovations are still a noose on my neck, basically.
Yeah.
There's renovations. Oh, sing at karaoke.
Really?
I'm gonna go to MCM. Yeah, I'm gonna go to MCM this May. Maybe I'll get into the Artist Alley too. Maybe not, but we have karaoke there, like a karaoke evening. This year I want to sing at that event.
That's a like very wholesome goal.
Cosplay redacted. I say redacted. Yeah, there's one character I really want to cosplay. Okay, I'll tell who that is. It's a Bride of Frankenstein. I really want to cosplay Bride of Frankenstein. Okay. But I think I'll save this one for October because it's like spooky month, not for summer. I really like the look, basically. That's it. She has like 5 lines in the movie where she just screams and then she dies. Anyways, yeah, table at MCM and Dokomi. These are my goals. Fingers crossed for me that I get in. Visit a friend in Poland. Visit a friend in Finland. Go out to the city and nature with friends and do it more often. Watch more movies. Quit my job.
Fingers crossed.
Grow Patreon to redacted patrons. I say redacted because the number is crazy.
I don't know. Some people say don't do it too high because it's unrealistic. But then the other ones are saying just like shoot for the stars. So I think like somewhere in the middle is always the best, you know?
Yeah. Well, I wrote down 1,000 patrons, so I'm in the loo. Anyways, go to therapy. Girl, I need to go to therapy. Okay.
I love how that's a goal. just call and like go.
It's much harder because you need to like pick it's because again I have specific needs for therapy and specific therapists because you can get a very shitty one.
Maybe go by recommendations or something. Maybe some of your friends.
Yeah, I need to do research and find a therapist that works for me.
Yeah.
Get an official ADHD diagnosis if I can. Spend more time in nature. The end.
Well, those are nice. I don't know. I'm excited to see it happen, basically.
Thank you. What about you? What's your list? Do you have an old grandpa list and an old grandpa notebook as well?
Well, my list is a little bit loosey-goosey, so I'm not gonna be like bolting down like you know, like step 1, do this, step 2. I don't have that. And my resolutions are ambitious this year, I have to say. But, you know, every year is the same. Half of them I can't really say because it's like a surprise. But another thing that is coming this year is vegan. So guys, I have not forgotten about it. Currently, one of my bigger freelance projects has to free up for that to happen. But I have it in mind because on Twitter, very nice people helped me with likes and retweets, and I'm not forgetting about opening that. So you can follow the vegan page for now because I think it sends an email once I open up if you're interested. The link is also in my Linktree page, which is linked in the description. But overall, I can just say that, you know, work-wise, I want to just develop things that I kind of already started last year, to just go further. For example, I want to keep working on Project Rainbow, the little OC drawings that I make, because I have a whole story. They're in the band together, and I already have like stories for comics. I have stories for like maybe animation. I just basically want to like sit down, think about it more, make it into more of a thing, and to kind of explore it more further this year. So I can't like say what I'm gonna come up with. I just know that I want to like allocate some time to it. Another thing obviously is that the project is asking for a better name than Project Rainbow, but that's also in its own time. I've been also talking to people who have manufacturing possibilities, and we will see where that goes. So I just kind of don't want to promise anything. Only that like I will work hard this year and push everything further than it was before, you know? Because I have the mentorships going on for me. I have the store for game developers on Unity and on Game Dev Market. So those I'm gonna push very slowly, but I still want to like finish it up from last year's plans. And yeah, just basically work on those things pretty much.
Yeah, I see a very loosey-goosey.
Yeah. I have like, you know, the things written down like reach this and this many subscribers or this and this many things, but it's all like, I don't know how interesting that is for listeners, because it's very like, it's just a number that I kind of made up on the spot. It's nothing like, and I don't think that the goal should be like that number either. So I might like rewrite my goals in general, but the way I make goals is actually I plan in batches, just like you said, you plan event to event, right? So for me, it's always like the whole year is segmented into months. I just group some months together and just cut the whole year up, because I've noticed that last year when I was planning for the whole year, and what ended up happening is the start of the year was like strong, then around summer it was a little bit emptier, and then around September I was like, I did not do anything. I have to push it like crazy now. And that whole period from September to December, it was me just trying to like, you know, push everything I basically didn't do before. So that's why this year I'm going to take a bit of a smarter route and start from the first batch of the year. So I'm not actually planning the other part of the year at all. I'm only planning until June of like, what would I want to do?
Yeah.
And
that's very smart.
Yeah, and it is filled with launches, so which I cannot tell you because it's a surprise of the launches. But just, you know, as long as I keep working at it and all is good, then soon enough you will see the launches anyway. I've been really like blessed with the support, especially I feel it on Twitch when I stream, because you know I'm always live, and that back and forth with the people who are supporting what I do is very quick. So I instantly get the feedback, and it feels very nice to just have like someone who's interested in what we do, our projects, and having that really quick back and forth. So I just want to thank people for the support. That's why I feel like more motivated this year to work harder and do more stuff and do something that is sort of more a thing, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of what last year is I was pushing a lot of things, but it was mostly ideas last year. So this year I want to make things a reality.
Yeah, I agree with your approach wholeheartedly, because I think that a New Year's plan and goals should be flexible, and they should be refreshed and renewed every couple of months as well. Because we plan things like these idealistic plans with, you know, our current knowledge, life experiences. But after these 3-4 months, you'll be a bit of a different person, and maybe your goals are gonna shift. So it's very good to review and look at the notes with a fresh eye. The plans, for example, the portfolio refreshments, it's like 3-4 months, and then, you know, I won't have I won't be able to do it later on because I have conventions. This is where convention starts. And then after conventions, it's like, yeah, it's planning all over again. It's like reviewing things and seeing what happens. Also, I like your point about having more like tangible goals, because when you have an idea, it's like, okay, it's nice, but we need to take the idea and turn it into like more practical, manageable points of like, how can I actually achieve it? Yeah.
Yeah, I always try to, have like, it is an end goal, but it's always like the end goal is not something that all of the project ends with. So if, for example, if there's a launch, like let's say the VGen thing, right? If I have that set up for launch, the way I plan it out is actually I just look into the calendar. I look where there's a free spot for like, I don't know, a week of work, and I just place it there, That's pretty much how I basically do planning for these things. And for example, for VGen launch, there's not that much steps to do until you can launch it. But if you're launching something more crazier, like for example, for you, the store, the merchandise store, right? There's a lot more steps that go into all of that. And then after it launches, it's also like not the end of it. You have to like market, and you have to do probably new products because you're probably interested in that. So the way I just plan until that goal of launch. But then after that, like we will see, we will replan. Maybe, maybe the stamina points will not be that high up. Once I'm done with the launches, what if like I'll be that tired and I want to just take the summer off? And that's perfectly fine. I think from last year, what I started thinking this year is that all of these goals that I've been setting all of my life, it's nice to achieve them, because I remember I was like thinking I want to work with like AAA projects when I was younger, right? And then I got to work with them. And I wasn't content. I started making new goals. And then all of those goals were also ambitious. So I never had like time to like stop and be like, oh, this is so nice. I reached it. I'm gonna like chill out now. It's always, and so what I understood this year, I guess around my birthday time, I was like rethinking all of it, is that it will never end unless you say so, right? It will never become a lesser pace unless you say so. It doesn't need to be a crazy pace. It doesn't need to be a 5 a.m. wake up, grind, go to the gym, all of that. It doesn't need to be like that to have very nice results. Like probably if you have a crazy grind, those results are gonna be quicker. But I think what happens, like from my experience, what happens more is that you have that crazy sprint of doing stuff, and then it's burnout. And then you're recovering from the burnout, and then you sprint again. Rather than having all of this like a marathon where you are adjusting your running pace, right? Adjusting the pace at which you're studying. If you want to apply for jobs, you might be working on portfolios. So I've noticed that, I tend to work better once I have that freedom. And for me, the launches is what actually is making all of this personal projects feel fun to do, because I have sort of like a deadline for myself, like, okay, I will launch until then, but I can just like freely work on those things whenever I feel like it. And that's what I've ended up noticing, and that's what I like. I don't know what your thoughts are about this.
No, I also agree on the fact that, again, since I'm a victim of burnouts, recovering burnout addict in a sense, long term, it's gonna mess you up really, 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 really bad. I really like listening to people's stories on YouTube, celebrity stories, YouTuber stories, that kind of thing. And on one hand, you can reach giant amounts of success with this absolutely like explosion of work when it's like day night kind of work thing. Nelly Furtado comes to mind to me. Do you remember Nelly Furtado?
Yeah, of course.
So when she was producing her album Promiscuous with Timberland, so she also had a baby. Basically, she had to work at nights. It was crazy. Like, you have this crazy year, or how long did she have with Timberland to work on this album? They worked on this album I don't think she even toured or anything. She was so burned out afterwards. We didn't hear about Nelly Furtado for years. She, of course, made her iconic album that was like, probably made her a lot of money and gave her like in fame and everything else. But at the same time, we don't know what happened behind closed doors.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she mentioned things in interviews about being extremely exhausted and burnt out. But it also gives you that loss of identity in a sense. If you're in a burnout for a very long time, after achieving a certain level of fame, then you get the level of shame and feeling that you will never do another album like that again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you've reached such big heights. Like, how can you even do it again? There's a thing in me that actually, like, I don't think I ever want to reach that height. You know, I don't think I ever want to do something that big in a sense, because that feeling that you will never be able to catch up to that pace again, it's like, it can be very depressing. And not a lot of people can sort of get through it.
Yeah.
So you very much see artists that go on a slower pace or take these big breaks and then come back like with a big thing and then kind of disappear. But like, you feel like they take the time to do things and they take the time to live the life. And then when they come back, you know, even after a while, but it's like something that is more healthy in a sense. I very much, wanted to be that as well. Yeah, so basically I completely agree with what you just said. I think we all should work on a slower pace and just be in the moment and live our lives. Actually, that's also a thing that I thought about this year, is the fact that I just want to live a life. When I wrote down a lot of like being in the city, hanging out with friends and being in nature kind of stuff, it is like, I just want to experience life, because last year I just kind of went from event to event. Like, it's like either work or event prepping. And you're sort of divided. Like, you kind of want to chill and live a life, but at the same time, there's always this work on your mind.
Yeah.
How to separate these things. I definitely agree with you with like trying to go on a slower pace and actually, you know, enjoy things that are not just career goals, basically.
Yeah. I think it is also the fact that, you know, if you enjoy the journey more of doing these personal projects, I know like for work is work, you know, you have a contract and all of that. You know, you're there to do your part. So I'm not talking about those things, rather than like more about personal goals, where, because a lot of us have some type of end goal, right? For us to be like, everyone sees success as a different thing. Like, some people need like $1 million. Some people just want to have a nice family and build that type of relationship goals. The whole enjoying of the journey is a topic that's been in my head for quite a while now. And I think it's very beneficial to do it this way, because time will pass so quick. And like, I don't remember most of my years, because I've just been working from one work to another to freelance to everything is like that. You know, it's all so busy and all of that. But then I'm not saying that I regret it, because I got to where I am today. But could I have done that with a slower pace, enjoying it more? Probably yes, you know, because it's all, luck is timing. And if you're prepared for that opportunity that comes with the luck or timing, then you become successful, right? So that's pretty much how it works. So why would you try to do nightly pushes and grinding if that luck is gonna come, you know, on a time that you don't know when?
Yeah.
You just need to be prepared. And preparation doesn't also mean that you need to have like a certain type of skills. Like, sure, that comes into place, right? But it could also be to be prepared mentally for something. Because I remember when I got a really good offer for work, right? And I took it, but I was actually planning. I was so tired because I was working on my portfolio at night, in the morning, like early mornings before my work. I was working on that portfolio work and I was like super tired. I was like, okay, I will take a vacation off of work for like a week. And then I got my offer for that other job. So I was working during my vacation. So I was between two workplaces at the same time. And that like killed me. So I think that, I definitely should have just been in the right mindset in terms of saving that energy reserve. That's also preparation. Because when an opportunity comes, that's when you go all out. And if you've been going all out throughout the whole period to get prepared for that opportunity, you're done. There's nothing, you have a certain jar of energy during, let's say, the whole month, and you've been giving all of the stuff away from the jar. And then once the opportunity comes, your jar is empty. Like you cannot do more than what you have in the energy reserve. So realizing that, it really made me plan a bit differently.
Yeah.
And I think that, prioritizing, last year I was really into prioritizing. So I had my priorities and I worked on those accordingly. But this year I'm a lot more about like healthy goal reaching, if we can say it like that. I mean, I'm still a workaholic. I still like do crazy amounts of work, but that's where I want to improve most.
Basically, there's a quote: we need to focus not on pursuit of happiness, but on the happiness of pursuit.
Yeah, that's a great one. For all those listening, I would love to know your resolutions too. So be sure to leave a comment, because I don't know if for you, Rita, but for me, I get so motivated talking about goals with other people. It makes me want to reach mine even more.
Same.
So I would love to read everyone's goals
and frustrations.
And like I said, they don't have to be like, crazy, but everyone has their own pace. Everyone has their own position in life. Like if you're working 2 jobs, struggling to pay rent, your goals are going to be very different from a person who has like a very comfortable workplace, where they can spend a lot of time, maybe even working for 4 days a week. Their goals are going to be a lot different from the other person's. So I feel like it's something that you shouldn't feel ashamed if your goals are like lesser than someone else's, because it really doesn't matter that much. Like we're all living an experience, so we should just focus on that and just do what we like.
Yeah, and not forget that it's just a lot of that stress, and that rat chase thing. It's again, we live in a society. I know it's a meme at this point, but when you feel sad and like you're not doing enough, that you have to like push as hard as possible, like all of these. At some points, I used to be obsessed with these videos of like, work mindset kind of stuff. But like at the same time, it's capitalism, baby. So in a sense, that exhaustion, that burnout, and that perpetual push to do more and to achieve more and to get more, it's not our fault in a sense. So we need to be kinder to ourselves and to each other, and just understand that we're just trying to do our best, and just tell yourself that you're just trying to do your best.
Yeah. And I think, I've been like very personally, from my experience, every time I do a gaming night, or like I try to just not do anything, like maybe watch a movie in the evening, I feel bad doing that.
Yeah.
Like I cannot enjoy the thing, because I'm constantly thinking, oh, like you're wasting time, you're being unproductive. But then like the next day you like wake up and you're like, I'm so glad I didn't work that night, because I would be dead right now.
Yeah.
So it's something that it's definitely a change of mindset rather than like anything else. All of those grind set people who are saying something on YouTube, right? They're all selling you something, right? It's all marketing. Like if people were actually having like fulfilled lives and were taking it slow, they wouldn't have a business. So you can think of it from that as well, from that perspective as well. Like everything is a product that everyone is just selling something to you.
Yep.
It's not always a bad thing, but I think you have to realize that everything is marketing, everything is selling something. That's the society's current way of doing things. So, and I think that marketing has always been really smart. It made women smoke cigarettes because they thought that's like better for feminism. It made diamonds have the price that they have now because people just began to think that it's a very valuable thing and it's super rare. Marketing is what drives everything. So, we get marketed this like expensive living as something that we would want to do. And that's kind of for everyone. That's, the goal. I want to live in a mansion. I want to have like a lot of money, big, cool cars, right? But try to imagine at least a day in that life. Would you actually like to live in a huge mansion? Like for me, no, I wouldn't. And once I understood that, I was like, wait a minute, I've been bamboozled by them. It's nice to look at. It's beautiful. The architecture, the views are stunning. But then you're like, I would probably be better off in like a smaller place and like a cozier place where I would feel more safer and all of that, So it's funny how like, even if you're someone who's like into cottagecore and you just want to have a farm in the countryside, they still get you. Like, I want to have a massive mansion in the countryside.
It's a very good point that you're bringing up, because people are sold ideas of what they want, but people don't stop to, first of all, dream about what they want.
Yeah.
But like dream big about what they want, but also think about like, what do I actually want? Is this really what I want? Or is this something that is just an idea that was pushed into my head?
Yeah.
And as you say, like if we could just stop for a second and imagine life in that. Is that really what you want? Or just think about the latest goal that you have achieved or the latest purchase when it comes to expensive things. And it's like, did it solve your problems?
Yeah, that's true.
You just want another thing. You will always want a cooler, bigger thing.
Yeah, that's true. With money as well, I think that attitude is also very true, is where you kind of invest your money. And I say invest like a term for just building some foundation, right? It's not
Bitcoin.
I'm not actually talking about investing into hedge funds or anything like that. I'm saying like investing kind of in things that are your life, that are for your life. So for example, us artists, maybe we're dreaming of a Cintiq, right? Like a cool big Cintiq. That's a great way to invest money because it kind of helps us do the things that we love, right? But for us, it doesn't make much sense to buy like a Ferrari. Like, first of all, obviously that's not an investment. It's like losing money. But, if you're dreaming for a Ferrari, why are you dreaming for it? Like, do you drive cars every day? Do you like driving cars? Are you into that? Or is it just like something that was pushed to your mindset that like, if you have a Ferrari, you're successful? Like, that's not how it goes.
Yeah, if you live in a small city, why would you drive a Ferrari? You need like proper, high roads.
I think they think about that as well. Well, you're living probably in the dream. You're living in LA, big mansion on a hill.
Yeah.
If you're also filled with ambition and power to do something, but you're not sure what, great way to start off this year is actually to enter a contest. Currently, ClipStudio is hosting Global Comics Awards, and you can enter 2 different categories. One is open category and another one which has a theme, time, and actually major Japanese manga publishers are in support of this event, so it even might be a chance to show them what you got. Also, the contestants are competing for a grand prize of $3,300 or 3 years of ClipStudio Paint X. Entry period is from January 10th till March 31st, so you have plenty of time to create the best comic ever created. So be sure to check it out. Link will be in the description.
I did not know about this contest and I'm very tempted. When you have like a ton of things that you planned and then you're distracted by like everything?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm always like, okay, I got my life together. I have everything right. And there's a contest. I'm like, oh God.
No.
Oh God.
No.
But I also like, I want to enter that. And I never do. It just doesn't, I don't plan for it and it doesn't enter. It doesn't work out. So yeah, check it out, guys, if you're interested. Maybe you're like Rita, who are currently doing a comic, so might as well just submit it. Why not?
I'm like scratching my chin right now. But do you have to draw it with ClipStudio though?
Well, probably not.
Yeah, that would be kind of stupid because like you get one of the prizes is a subscription, You
need scissors to open scissors. That wraps up our episode for this week. And guys, if you have any topic suggestions or ideas, please share in the comments below. Drop a like on the video since it helps us reach more listeners. Thank you for sticking out until the end, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.